I'm here on Friday, and I'm probably going to be switching these to Fridays just because they make a little bit more sense. But we put up posts so that you know when they are going to go on. Today, I am talking about superfoods and tonic herbs for autumn. And so we are, for us folks who are down here in the southern hemisphere, we are on the tail end of autumn. But the beautiful thing about talking about things for autumn is that the qualities of autumn, they extend into the early winter. So give me one moment, as I usually do, to share this around, and then I'm going to dive in. I've got so much, I always have so much to share. It's like often a little bit of a challenge for me to condense it into something short, but today I'm going to do my best. I've got a few tonic herbs and I've got a few superfoods that I want to share with you. Make sure that you've got these in your pantry. Give me 1 second. All I do is I just share this post and then I dive in. I'll do a little reintroduction and I will dive in. And I hope that everybody is enjoying the autumn. I'm really enjoying autumn this year. Autumn has always been a favorite season of mine, and so I'm always enjoy the autumn. It's a beautiful time of year. It's kind of this time of transition. As you know, one sec, it is superfoods and tonic herbs. If you know anybody who's interested in or who's looking to know more about Ayurvedic superfoods and tonic herbs for autumn, now is a great time to share this with them. I will be taking questions if you've got them towards the end. Actually, at the end, you can throw them in if you like sooner, but I'll answer those questions at the end. Alrighty, let's dive in. As you probably can see, I am in my kitchen today, and that's because there's a couple of things that I want to actually show you. So, for anyone who does not know me, my name is Shara Carruthers. I am an Ayurvedic practitioner and a lifestyle and wellness consultant, and I work primarily with women who feel as though they have somehow along the path of living and giving have lost their mojo. And so I work with them to understand the beauty of Ayurveda and to use the tools of Ayurveda to address their unique and individual needs to help them return to their beautiful and authentic selves. That's a very long explanation, but I just wanted you to get a little bit of the nuance. Today, as I've mentioned, I am here to talk about autumn because we know that autumn, or that Ayurveda, is all about seasonal living. And so understanding some of these seasonal concepts and how to make the most of the season in order to maintain your own balance is incredibly important. I'm going to be talking lots more about this because everybody thinks a little bit about like, oh, Ayurveda means like know your dosha and eat for your dosha. Yes, it does, but more important than anything is understanding the way that you become imbalanced, because most of us are walking through life in some state of imbalance. And so understanding how we can rebalance ourselves is really important. And the seasons, each of the seasons, all the things that come with the seasons actually are a very imbalancing force. And so understanding how to live according to the seasons is really, really important. And that's why I talk a lot about that. So let's dive in. Autumn. All right, let's talk about tonic herbs because I'm a big fan of herbs and spices, and I think you should be too. So the first one that I want to talk to you a little bit about is fennel. So fennel is one of these few plants that has everything. It's a vegetable, it's a spice, and it's an herb. It's this interesting combination of warming and cooling properties that stimulate the appetite and that also stimulate the digestion. And what you may not know about fennel is it's also a really powerful anti-inflammatory. It's great for menstrual cramps. It's great for stomach issues or stomach pain. It's great if you've got a baby that has colic. Fennel's beautiful. One thing I didn't mention at the outset is that one of the things that a lot of us deal with in the autumn time is digestive issues. And you know, Ayurveda, we're all about ensuring that your digestion is working well. And so that is going to be a theme that you see throughout these spices. So back to fennel. Fennel seeds. So fennel has this beautiful, well, I'm going to show you these. Fennel has this beautiful, oh, I wish you could smell this. licoricey, light licoricey flavor. And for anybody who doesn't like licorice, don't be put off. I'm not a fan of licorice, but I love fennel. So hopefully I can show you those seeds. Yay! I hope I can, yeah, there you go. So this fennel lends itself to Italian cooking. If you think you've never tasted fennel before, you have, because you more than likely tasted it in Italian sausages or pizza, something like that. It's beautifully fragrant, and it's got this beautiful subtle flavor that can be great for using in teas. And in fact, I've got a recipe in my book for fennel seed crackers, homemade crackers, that's absolutely beautiful. So just cycling back, fennel, great for digestive issues. It's got what's warming. It's got this beautiful combo of warming and cooling. Great for digestive issues and menstrual cramps. Great to make with teas or to use fennel seed powder and lots of different things. The next one I will talk to you a little bit about is cardamom. Cardamom is one of those spices that folks either seem to love or leave. I am definitely a lover of cardamom. It's actually known as, it's one of the oldest well-known spices, and it's actually one of the most expensive. And it's known as the queen of spices. Yeah, the queen of spices. Apparently, pepper is the king of spice. And so cardamom has got this beautiful warming and sweet and pungent qualities to it. It's great for digestion. It's beautiful for reducing bloating, intestinal gas. It's been used to treat everything from bad breath to constipation and stomach aches. And it's also got muscle relaxing qualities. So I believe that cardamom, and these are some pods that I kind of found in the back of my cupboard. So cardamom pods are typically very beautiful and green, but there's also another type of cardamom, which is black cardamom, and I'm actually talking about green cardamom. So it's beautiful. It can be used in a lot of different things: baked goods, stews, teas. You can even put it into a little bit of powdered cardamom into homemade nut butter. So I put cardamom in a lot of different things, and in fact, I'm going to talk to you at the end about one of the ways that I use these 3 spices that I'm going to share with you. Last one for spice, and I've got little chips of this, is everyone's favorite, cinnamon. So cinnamon, these are just some little bits of cinnamon bark. Cinnamon, and you can find cinnamon in quills, you can find cinnamon in powders. To me, cinnamon smells like home. My home does not smell like cinnamon, but when I do smell cinnamon, it's this epitome of coziness, right? It's a powerful, powerful medicine, and most of us have grown up eating cinnamon toast or cinnamon rolls, and so we're quite familiar with the comfort food version of cinnamon. Cinnamon is warming, it's stimulating, but it's also what we call demulcent. What does that mean? Demulcent means that it soothes irritation in the throat and in the stomach. And so it's very good for a digestive. It's great. It's got antimicrobial properties, and so it reduces gas and fermentation in the GI tract. So it's a beautiful thing to have as a tea if you've got a sore throat, if you've got a little bit of a bellyache. It's great to put into anything to help kind of boost the digestive properties of whatever it is, or your ability to digest that. And so cinnamon, and as well as that, it's just got this beautiful fragrant, and that's all of the things that I'm sharing with you today have just, they've just got this lovely fragrance to them that make them really yummy and cozy part of autumn. And so remember that everything I'm talking to you about today, all these spices, they can be applied for autumn into the early part of winter. Autumn into the early winter. So don't think that you can just, you just got to get rid of these guys in the next month or two. They're really a great thing to continue throughout. One thing I did want to unravel about cinnamon is that we hear different things about cinnamon. There's a real cinnamon, and then there's another cinnamon. And so I kind of wanted to talk to you a little bit about, really briefly about that, because it's something that people get confused about. So typically, or not typically, actually, there's a couple different types of cinnamon. There is cinnamon, I'm going to try to say this, the Latin version. It's Cinnamomum verum and Cinnamomum cassia. Cinnamomum verum, which is what we call true cinnamon, and Cinnamomum cassia. And so cassia is sweeter and it's stronger, and it's it's a version that's preferred throughout the world. And so if you're going to your supermarket and you're finding, you know, cinnamon quills or cinnamon pieces or anything like that, the chances are very good that it's Cinnamomum cassia. Sometimes people think, oh wait, the one's the real one and one's the fake one. The qualities of both are the same. It's just that cassia has a little bit sweeter flavor and stronger, and so we can taste the cinnamon better, or we can taste that experience of cinnamon better with cassia. These little pieces that I'm showing you, that's actually Cinnamomum verum, which is sometimes also referred to as Ceylon or Chinese cinnamon. So there isn't really, I mean, yes, in terms of names, there is a real or a true and the cassia, but the qualities are the same. One's just stronger and sweeter. All right, so that is what I got to tell you for the tonic herbs: fennel, cardamom, and cinnamon. And inside of my book, there's a recipe for something I call magic dust. Magic dust. Magic dust is a combination of powdered fennel seeds, powdered cardamom, and powdered cinnamon. Mixing those things together, and it makes this incredible, I've talked to you about how wonderful all this smells. It makes this incredible, beautiful scented mixture that if you mix with a little bit, you can put it on just about anything. You can put it in baked goods, all the same things that you would use any one of these for, you can use this for. You can sprinkle it on top of your coffee, your tea, your chai, your hot chocolate, but you can also mix with a little bit of castor sugar, perhaps, and use it as a sprinkling or a topping, or you don't even have to use sugar. In the same way that you would use a cinnamon sugar, so for a cinnamon toast or something like that, in cinnamon rolls, in baked goods, etc. We call it magic dust, and it's because it's beautiful, and it is a little something like magic. All right, so let's talk very quickly about superfoods. So there's so many lovely balancing foods to enjoy this time of year in autumn, but there's a few that, in my opinion, kind of pack an extra punch in the balancing stakes in order to balance the cooler and the drier and the lighter qualities of autumn that carry straight on into the early winter. And so as I'm talking to you a little bit about these foods, just think a little bit about your favorite ways to use them. So the first is apples. We're seeing apples everywhere at this time of year. And so even though apples sometimes seem like the ho-hum, you know, the everyday kind of fruit, they're not as sexy as, you know, some of the other types of fruit that you'll see out there. They're not as sexy as cherries. They're not as sexy as mangoes. Apples are beautiful. They're cleansing. They're high in fiber. They naturally help to disperse some of the heat that may still be kind of hanging on from summer. They support healthy liver function, and they lower cholesterol. Plus, they're just delicious. I highly recommend, if you're eating apples this time of year, even though there's a tendency to want to bite in and go ahead and have some raw apple, it's great to cook apples. So what I do is I grate up apple, and I grate it up into my porridge. I sometimes will stew apples and have that as a lovely breakfast, or even something a little bit sweet around dinner time or around lunchtime. So apples are in my mind, one of the super foods for autumn. They're everywhere and they're easy to find. Next, avocados. So I am one of the few people who does not like or eat avocados, but that doesn't stop me from sharing the benefits of avocados because they are great. They're a healthy source of healthy fats. They're also quite beautiful and grounding. They're a great source of, as I mentioned, omega-3s, potassium, even more potassium than bananas, and they're full of all kinds of nutrients. And even more than that, they are incredibly versatile. They're a much loved favorite. I mean, I've made avocado ice cream, even though that's not what you want to be eating this time of year. You can cook with avocados. You can have an avocado with eggs for breakfast. You can sprinkle chopped avocado on top of different things. So avocados are really great for autumn. And then last, but certainly not least, and this one's a jar, and I'll take a few out. This is mung beans. So we talk a lot about mung beans in Ayurveda, in part because they were one of the only beans or legumes that is tri-doshic. Beans and legumes actually have a light and a dry quality, and so that means that typically they're not going to be so great for Vata, right? Because Vata is light and dry. But mung beans are different. Mung beans are balancing for all of the doshas. All beans and legumes are great for Kapha, just to let you know that. But mung beans are one of the few that are great. And I'm going to try to show you a picture there that are great for Vata. Wow, these are those little green ones. And they are, again, great in fiber. They're high in fiber. They're easy to digest. They're high in antioxidants. They're packed with nutrients. They're quite nutrient dense. They can be enjoyed sprouted in salads, particularly maybe warmish salads, but they're best, in my mind, cooked. I've got a recipe in my book for a incredibly simple mung bean soup. Hopefully most of you have tried that mung bean soup because we use it a lot in our detoxing or in our cleansing. Mung bean soup's great, and it can actually kind of be tarted up. You can throw some different veggies in there or just the beans with some water and a few spices. And of course, mung beans can also be used in khichdi. So in khichdi, we typically will use the split yellow mung beans. Those are great too. But you can also, I wanted to show you the whole green mung beans because they're really great for this time of year. So that's all I have to share with you. I'm just going to run down those again. Tonic herbs. We got fennel, we've got cinnamon, and we've got cardamom. All great for digestive issues and for kind of helping you to deal with some of the things, some of the dryness and some of the things that you might be suffering or dealing with this time of year. And then we've also got apples, we've got mung beans, and we've got avocados. Run out to your farmer's market and your supermarket or your spice shop. Make sure that you've got those in your pantry, in your cupboards, and consider all of the beautiful things that you can actually make with those. All of those ingredients. I don't know if you'd want to put all of them together, but you've got lots of options there for ingredients that will keep you happy, healthy, and balanced through the autumn into the early winter. If you have questions, go ahead and pop those into the comments. I feel like I've taken a bunch of your time already today, so pop those into the comments. I will check those out. I will answer those. Otherwise, I would love to hear about and see what you're doing with these ingredients. Feel free to share those things. Pop them pictures or posts or whatever onto the page, into the group, and share what you've got or what you're doing with them. And of course, I'll do the same. So next week we are talking about something other than food. I think we're actually talking about relationships next week. So this is something perhaps that, I think that's what we're talking about. It's something that people don't really think about in terms of Ayurveda. And so tune in. It will be Friday instead of Thursday. And if you don't think you can make it, go ahead and let me know if you've got some questions, and I will be sure to address those on the Facebook Live. Thanks so much for your time today, and I wish you health and happiness. Until next time, namaste.